Throughout your personal and professional life, you'll encounter a variety of ethical dilemmas. In this interview with Bill Middleton, retired Assistant Chief for the San Diego Fire Rescue Department, we'll examine an ethical dilemma he faced toward the end of his career.
I retired from the San Diego Fire Department about a year ago, and my last position was Assistant Chief. And so I had things that I had to deal with come across my desk pretty regular. This one I'm going to tell you about now is one that came at the end of my career, and it was pretty challenging. It was a issue that concerned the activity surrounding an engine company responding to an incident. This engine company came to work, and they had a captain and an engineer, and the engineer was on the captain's list. He anticipated a promotion in the next several months, and so they had arranged for him to take advantage of an opportunity to get some acting captain time. So they swapped positions. The captain drove the fire engine. Engineer was the acting captain. Early on in their shift, they picked up an incident. It was a medical aid, and it came in as a report of a 23-year-old female in cardiac arrest. As the crew was getting ready to respond to the incident, they got on board the rig and they pulled out, and they noticed smoke off in the distance, and it appeared to be a structure fire. It happened to be along the route of response that they were going to take to the medical aid incident. They had a discussion, the captain and the acting captain had a discussion along the way that they would drive as close as they could without deviating and take a look at it and radio in to fire communications, tell them what the fire looked like, make a recommendation of what they needed to send over there, and continue on to the medical emergency. As they got closer to the smoke, they saw that it was in fact a structure fire, and they got about a block away and they saw quite a few people standing on the corner waving them in aggressively, and it was pretty apparent that the folks thought they had a significant problem there, and they thought that help was on the way. The driver, the captain, couldn't see the fire real well, but the acting captain could. And he believed he saw a working fire on the second floor of an apartment house. He picked up the mic and he radioed fire communications and told them that, and he added that he believed that there was an imminent need for rescue, and that he was going to divert from the medical emergency over to the structure fire and ask fire communications to assign a second engine to work with the ambulance on the medical emergency. They responded over to the fire. Didn't quite turn out to be what they thought it was going to be. It was a building adjacent to the apartment building. It was well involved in fire, but it was pretty much contained to the exterior of the apartment. So they didn't have as big a problem as they thought they did. About the time they got there, the battalion chief arrived, and he was the supervisor of the first alarm assignment. He came up and spoke to the captain, said, "Hey, I heard you on the radio." He said, "Not sure this was the best decision. I'm kind of curious why you didn't continue on your response to that medical emergency." And the captain acknowledged that in hindsight that probably would have been the better thing to do, but there was a lot of factors there. And so the battalion chief said, "Well, we're going to have to obviously discuss this some more." He went to his boss, shift commander, deputy chief, had a discussion. They decided that the situation required a fact-finding. They bounced it off of the director of operations, who worked down the hall from me, and he agreed. And so they in fact did put together a fact-finding, and a couple of weeks later, the results of that fact-finding ended up on my desk. Real comprehensive job, told the whole story. And it looked like there might have been an issue there that didn't suggest good decision-making. Struggle with a few conflicting values. The first, that we have a commitment to the public. We have a commitment to the citizens to deliver that prompt response when we say we're going to, and we're going to be out there to solve their problem. Also had a issue that was specific to the organization itself. We have a concern and a priority on adherence to our standards. It's the backbone of our integrity. It's the expectation that the organization works with predictability and with consistency and does the right thing. And then ultimately, if I needed to do anything directly to these two individuals in addressing this situation, I wanted to make sure that the organization was fair to them, gave them an honest look, because we charged them with making critical decisions in a very short time frame. I didn't want the outcome from that to be one that would suggest that management is looking to second guess these decisions, and at the same time make sure that all of those captains out there understood that there's a high expectation for good decision making.